Hey, it's your favorite lone wolf, Karthik, back with another dose of real talk. Today's episode is kind of a juicy one. We're diving into the not so glamorous world of toxic workplaces. So, listen, I know we're all about crushing goals and building our best selves here, but sometimes the biggest obstacle to that isn't in the gym. It's the 9 to 5 grind that's slowly sucking the life out of you. If you ever felt like your ambition was being punished, your ideas were ignored, or the office gossip was more toxic than a pre workout gone wrong, then this episode is for you. I'm going to share my personal journey of escaping a dead end job and how I learned to prioritize my well being, both mental and physical, both mind and body. So, buckle up, grab your headphones, and let's dive into the dumpster fire that was my last job. The story starts with a simple comment, two words that sparked a whole chain of events. So let's dive in. Too ambitious. That's what they told me. But as it turns out, ambition is a four-letter word in certain places, and mine was a direct threat to their laziness. Let me tell you about the day those two words hit me like a barbell to the face. Too ambitious. I mean, these words, they stuck with me. They've festering me like a bad case of DOMS. Oh, yeah, DOMS means delayed onset muscle soreness. So, muscle soreness, tongue. So, this sucked. But you know what really kept me going in that soul sucking job for way, way too long? That illusion of stability. I mean, who doesn't love a steady paycheck, right? I mean, it feels safe, it feels reliable, and it whispers the promises of financial security and a sense of quote unquote making it, right? But here's the thing, my paycheck, it felt more like a bribe. It was hush money for my soul, I guess. At least that's how I felt. The longer I stayed, the more that so-called stability, it started to crumble around me. My energy levels plummeted. I felt like I was dragging myself through each day, barely able to focus. The joy I once felt for fitness, for pushing my body and testing my limits, that all but vanished. I became a shell of myself. I mean, a guy just randomly showing up for the paycheck, but leaving my passion and purpose at the door. And that's when I knew the illusion of stability had become a dangerous trap. So, have you ever felt trapped by the golden handcuffs of a steady paycheck? Were you sacrificing your health, your passions, or your sanity for a job that was not truly serving you? Let's talk about how this illusion can trick us into staying stuck and how to break free. So, the illusion of stability was the first trap. But even if I had felt financially secure, there was another glaring issue. I was suffocating. Imagine trying to grow a plant in a tiny pot with no sunlight. Yeah, that was literally my job. Ever, every spark of creativity, every innovative idea that I had. I mean, I didn't have like an Elon Musk kind of ideas, but whatever the thing that I had, it was like throwing water on a grease fire. They didn't want solutions, they wanted complacency. They wanted me to settle, they wanted me to keep quiet and be their, I don't know, lapdog and wag my tail and whatever they said. There was this one time. Um, I think I wanted a flaw, or more like a flaw. There was a problem in internal communication among the team that I was put in. There were so many emails that were not being followed up with, and especially the ones that were communicating with other companies since they were like B2B and doing business as B2B and everything. So, what I believe is that I mean, especially after being an entrepreneur, this idea has been creeping up inside my head. And you need to serve your clients more than you serve yourself. I mean, better than you serve yourself, right? So you got to resolve all the conflicts on the inside so that you could serve your customers the best way possible. So that's what I said. So with this intention in mind, I proposed a few ideas that could help the internal communication. So, for example, that doesn't. For instance, if you do not have to follow up with emails when you're in the same building, you can just chat or use the office chat or just WhatsApp or something like that. A dedicated group, a dedicated channel to discuss about a certain project. Yeah, that did not go well. And this is just a teeny tiny example because I don't want to give a lot of examples to get sued or anything because my boss made it very clear that I would be, should I, if I were to talk about all of this. So my point being, it wasn't just the idea being rejected that hurt. It was the feeling of being unheard and unseen. Like my potential was capped, my skills were going to waste. The consequence? My motivation flatlined. My work became robotic, it became joyless. The mental fatigue, it started to bleed into my personal life. How, you may ask? So, workouts at the gym felt like a chore. I used to love working out. I used to give it my all. Even though I hated my job, I used to give it my all. But when this toxicity, I guess, started to grow exponentially, I mean, the workouts, it felt like something that I had to do instead of something that I want to do. So, and they felt like hobbies that felt pointless. So let's be honest. We all want to feel like our work matters. We want to grow, to learn, to contribute something meaningful. When that is denied, it's not just our careers that suffer, it's our entire sense of self. But that wasn't the only poison seeping into my life from that toxic workplace. Picture this: you walk into a room and the air is thick with tension. Gossip, it hangs heavy, and negativity of all seeps from every corner. Yeah, that was my daily reality in that toxic workplace. The energy vampires, I just came up with it, were out in full force. You know the type, the colleagues who thrive on drama, who love to complain and criticize everything. Let's not even get started on the backhanded compliments. So I can share a specific example. When I think this was about, I would leave work feeling exhausted, not from the actual workload, but from the emotional baggage that I had to carry. It was like my energy was being sucked out of me bit by bit. And that's not even the worst part. It started affecting my sleep. I got a few, not many, but a few dreams or nightmares, if you want to call it. It wasn't like scary or anything, but it was disturbing about like work drama. My appetite, it dwindled. I wasn't eating right. I was kind of starving myself, kind of. So, and I was also going through deficit. So at that point, and but I overdid it, I guess. I guess I also lost a ton of muscle in that process. And my workouts, they suffered because I couldn't muster the mental energy to push myself. I just could not. Negative energy is contagious, my friends. It's like a virus that infects your mind and body. When your work environment is a constant source of stress and negativity, it's impossible to thrive, both inside and outside the gym. But here's the thing: you do not have to stay stuck in that cycle. There is a turning point, a moment of clarity when you realize enough is enough. So, how did I go from feeling trapped in a toxic workplace to finally taking the lead? Well, it was not a single dramatic moment, but a series of small cracks in the facade of stability that eventually shattered. So, my specific turning point was, it was this month, May 2024. And I had sent multiple emails to my HR saying that hey, I was struggling. Hey, I don't think I'm doing well. My mental health. I really want to talk to someone about this. Are you available? But a few weeks before that, she said, You could come to me with any kind of problem you want and whatever the hell you want to talk about, I'm here for you and blah blah. But I didn't get a single reply to all these emails and or the chat or however I tried to reach them out. But when I sent the email saying that I'm gonna quit, can we talk? Yeah, I got an email reply in like an hour, I guess. And I was at the gym when I got the reply. So, hey, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I mean, that just stung. So you only care when someone is leaving. And number two is that it was not even the email, it was a conversation that I had with them after that. So when I was voicing my concerns, all I got in reply was, I was saying things like, so again, no one cares about my feelings. No one cares about their feelings, their time, their words, their energy, which they should. The intangibles, they matter. No honesty and blah, blah, right? So I was saying all this. And all I got in reply was, yeah, that's just the way it is. And that's coming from the HR, the one department who's supposed to care about humans. Well, at least that's what I understood about HR. So this wasn't exactly the conversation that I expected to have when I walked into the room. And when I got this, God, I was just fucking done. I realized that this this is not serving me any purpose. I thought that I could use this paycheck to fund Cyrax, but the business that I'm talking, I hope you know that. Yeah, to fund Cyrax, and no, it's just not worth it. And it's really not. I mean, if you're in a place which doesn't even have a soft spot. I mean, I'm not asking for some grand gestures. I'm just asking for things like, hey, are you doing okay? How can I help you? And all that. See, it's this kind of talk that I can. And if you got any ideas, please let me know. And we can discuss about it and see where this goes. See, it's all this constructive kind of talk that I crave. And I got none of that here. So that day, I logged into my system and I went to the HR portal or something like that. And I dropped an email to everyone who sucked the life out of me, mainly my bosses and the HR staff, and saying that, yeah, I'm fucking done, and this is my resignation. Just have it, and all that. And yeah, so that was the turning point, I guess. And I have been mulling about it, thinking about quitting my job for months before this, and I never really acted on this. But this conversation, it pulled the trigger. And when I turned in the resignation, I cried. I mean, of course, it was scary as hell. Yeah, I mean, of course, I cried because it was scary as hell. I did not know what I was going to do next. And I mean, I should have thought things through, but I thought if I just go home back to my parents and move back in with them, I'd be able to move back yet. But I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to freelance for a while and use that to fund Xerox or something like that. But I cried. I cried for like an hour about what not knowing what to do next. And there was no one who came to my help, obviously. And yeah, so I called I gotta still remember this. I called my dad, I called my mom, and asked, hey, if I come home, would you let me back in? I mean, considering that our relationship is like pretty strained at the time, at the present time, and it's not like, hey, boo, we're not like super close or anything, but yeah, uh, but and when they said yes, I cried even more. I mean, those were happy tears, but still, you get the point, right? So the decision to leave was not easy. It was scary as fuck, but that fear was different. It was not the soul-crushing dread of another day in a toxic environment. It was the fear of the unknown, I guess, the kind that can either paralyze you or propel you forward. So I guess, kind of felt like Elsa in Frozen 2. I chose to let it propel me. I wanted to venture into the unknown. I started to envision a future where my work was meaningful, where my voice mattered, and where I was not sacrificing my well being for a paycheck, for barely a good paycheck. And that's when the magic started to happen. The more I got focused on building the future, the less power the negativity had over me. I started to feel a sense of excitement and a renewed purpose. So, this brings me to the most important part of this episode, the lessons I learned and the simple actionable tips, the steps that you can take to break free from your own toxic situation and create a thriving life. So it's about damn time to focus on building a future that aligns with your values and fuels your passion. So, what does that look like? How do you move from a toxic workplace and build a career that doesn't compromise your well being? Number one, it's about mindset. The recognizing that you're not alone in feeling stuck, in feeling frustrated, or even scared. It's fine. Okay. I felt the exact same way a few weeks ago. And remember, it's never too late to make a change. And number two, it's about taking action. Start by identifying what truly matters to you. What are your non negotiables? What kind of work environment will nourish your soul? Where will you thrive? What kind of people that you want to be around? What kind of people will fuel your progress and not drain you? So don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging with some vague advice. I've distilled the lessons I've learned into three tips, into three simple, actionable tips that can make a world of difference. But I'm not going to share them here. Yeah, so don't worry. So before I tell you where you can find them, if you like this episode, please share it in your Instagram stories and tag Cyrax Fit. Tag Cyrax's Instagram. The handle is CyraxFit, SYRAXFIT. And the reason I'm asking you to do this is that this would help push the podcast to more people who could possibly benefit from this in the future. So thank you if you do this. Thank you if you plan on doing this. And so back to the tips. Yeah, that's right. You're going to have to work for it. So head over to the brand new newsletter, the Cyrax Squad Mail on substack.com. Don't worry, I leave the link in the description to get a full scoop. It's cyraxfit.substack.com or just head on to substack.com and search for Cyrax Squad Mail. So you'll find those three tips along with a whole lot of other real talk about mindset, about fitness, and about building a life you love. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and comment and chat and whatever you want. I mean, I'm here to read every single one of your reviews. And most important of all, if you liked it, subscribe so that we'll see each other right in your inbox. So why am I doing this? So because I believe in the power of community. I want us all to rise up to support each other and find our own path to success. And remember, sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. As I always say, simple works just fine. So thank you so much for joining me on this rant-filled ride through the world of toxic workplaces. And your journey is valid and you deserve to thrive because you're not alone. Remember that. So this is Karthikar, your lone wolf guide in this crazy world of fitness and mindset. And I am rooting for you. I'll see you real soon in the next episode.